Every year when it comes to Parshas Toldos, we are perplexed. Esav was loved by his father Yitzchak. Vayehav Yitzchak es Esav kitzayid bifiv. How could it be? How could Yitzchak have been fooled by this Russia? Rivka oheves es Yaakov, and Rivka loved Yaakov. Did Rivka not love Esav? So how are we to understand this? Rashi explains that Yitzchak was fooled by Esav. He gave his father this impression that he was really concerned about keeping all of the traditions of the house and asking Yitzchak for details about how to do things, presenting himself in one way to his father, but acting in a very different way, wreaking havoc in everything he encountered when he wasn't in front of his father. Another possible suggestion that Chazal offers is that no, Yitzchak knew who Esav was, but Yitzchak wanted to keep Esav close, and he realized if Esav still had kibbud av va'em, if he at least honored his father, then he wasn't totally gone. And he could hold on and show him a sense of love that maybe one day he would do tshuva, he would repent, he would come back to the proper derech, to the right way. And then there's a suggestion of Rav Naftali Miropshitz. And his suggestion, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, is based on the Gemara Maseches Yoma. The Gemara there talks about Reish Lakish and his brother-in-law Rabbi Yochanan, and really how different they were, particularly when it came to visiting the marketplace. When Reish Lakish engaged with someone at the marketplace, everyone else was watching, because the person who engaged with Reish Lakish was identified by everyone else as thereby being a trusted person, so much so that they would leave their money with that person without eidim, without witnesses. Could you imagine? You leave your money by someone without any proof? That's how trustworthy people felt about the person who engaged with Reish Lakish in business. It wasn't the same for Rabbi Yochanan. People saw Rabbi Yochanan in the marketplace, but no one trusted the person that he dealt with per se, because Rabbi Yochanan had trusted with it, had interacted with him. So what was the secret of Reish Lakish? So the Gemara explains Reish Lakish at one time was, before he became Reish Lakish, before he did tshuva, he was a bandit. He was a trickster, a fraudster, a cheater. He was a manipulator. And so when Reish Lakish did business with someone, that person was emistic, was truthful, because Reish Lakish knew. He was able to see through any fraud because he himself had done every type of manipulation possible. And so when people saw that Reish Lakish was actually in business with someone, they automatically trusted that Reish Lakish saw right through that person, and that person represented emes. Rabbi Yochanan, on the other hand, he never had the history that Reish Lakish had. So it was possible that people took advantage of Rabbi Yochanan. Says Rav Naftali Miropshitz, the same was true of the engagement of Yitzchak and Esav and Rivka and Yaakov. Rivka grew up in the house of Besuel. She had a brother Lavan, who was a trickster, a fraudster, a manipulator. So Rivka was able to see right through Esav. She was able to see what he was really made of, and she refused to be fooled. So Rivka loved Yaakov because he represented emes. Yitzchak, however, he grew up in the home of Avram and Sarah. There was a big tent where Avram and Sarah welcomed all different types of people, regardless of how they presented themselves. So Yitzchak ended up giving anyone who came in front of him the benefit of the doubt and trusted them perhaps a little bit too much. What an incredible lesson for us in life. What a delicate balance there has to be with trusting someone and being careful as to who we trust, and yet at the same time not trusting someone. Where, to what degree are we to be careful about who we trust versus being naive about trusting others? We don't want to be so careful not to trust that we end up losing out on an opportunity to help someone else or to gain something even for ourselves. At the same time, we have to balance that with the possibility that there are people who can take advantage of us. And finding that equilibrium in life ultimately is what preserves and leads to and preserves our success. May we be zoche, may we merit to have the ahava, the love of Yitzchak, and the shrewdness of Rivka when it comes to our encounters throughout life. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.